Hi, I'm Chang Wei Lam, and today I'm going to do 3 analysis of. The first one is the rise of happiness based on the country. So I use bar chart to represent it, and I apply sort for the country. So I will have ascending order to sort all the country, and the highest bar got the highest score of happiness. The second one is average happiness vs freedom. So I use the line chart to represent it, but then I change the size to the circle. So you can see that there are many circles that represent the country, and it will have a positive score to represent happiness vs freedom. So the last one is the health vs happiness based on the country. So I use the tree map to represent it, and it will group by the same scores of health, and the color represent the average happiness score.
Hi, I'm Karen. I have done the 3 analysis, which are analysis 4 happiness distributed by continent, analysis 5 global happiness by country, and analysis 6 average happiness by continent over time. So for the analysis 4, I use a workflow for continental comparison, showing that Europe has the highest happiness score while the Africa has the lowest score. So next for the analysis 5 is our world map visualization, which display a happiness score for every country using a color gradient. So more darker green represent a more happier nation, while the red color country shows that have low happiness score. So for next one, analysis 6. For this analysis, it track the pattern over time from 2015 to 2020 and include a forecast to 2022. So in previously, Europe stayed consistent high while Africa improved slightly, but our forecast predict that Africa, Asia and Europe will be slightly lower in 2022, while Australia, North America and South America are predicted to be slightly higher than 2020.
I'm Yap Jia Xin. For analysis 7, I use a scatter plot to analyze the GDP per capita vs happiness score. The color represents different continents and it shows the positive correlation between GDP and happiness. Analysis 8 is average CPI by country. The country with deeper color and bigger circle indicate the highest CPI. Most of the Europe countries have the highest CPIs. Analysis 9, I use a bar and line chart to show the government trust and happiness score over continents. There is a relationship between these two attributes. Africa had the lowest trust and happiness, while Australia had the highest trust and happiness.
Hi, I'm Qing Qing. Now I'm going to explain about the analysis 10, which is the global happiness trends. So we are using the years and average of happiness score here to create the line chart, and then the line chart show that the happiness increased in 2020. Next is analysis 11, which is the forecast for happiness of the next 2 years. So we are using the years and also average happiness scores here, and then we put the forecast inside the chart. So it shows the prediction for the next 2 years is 5.46232. So the last one is the analysis 12, which is the changes among the country, changes of happiness among the country. So we are using the country, and also we'll create a calculation field that call happiness changes, and then we put a code inside, and next we put the happiness changes to the columns, and then the chart will shows that the changes of each country, and then the country that have the most changes is the Benin.
So for now, I do a dashboard for the factor influence happiness score. So there are several graphs I combine it into the dashboard, which is the average happiness vs freedom, the line graph that I use circle to represent it, and also the GDP per capita vs happiness, the circle graph, and also the government trust vs happiness by continent. It uses the dual combination graph, and also the health vs the average happiness based on the country, which I use the tree map. So in the conclusion, the factor will influence the happiness score. For example, the higher of freedom score, it will have a higher average happiness, and also the more GDP per capita, it has a more happiness score. And the government trust has a more number, so the happiness will have a more number by continent. And lastly, the more healthy, it has a more average happiness score based on the country.
I created the second dashboard, which is happiness score dashboard using analysis including global happiness by country, global happiness forecast for next 2 years, and the change of happiness among countries. This dashboard allows us to investigate the global average happiness score and which country had the most drastic change of happiness from 2015 to 2020.
Now we are creating a story that's called overall project story. First, we add a new story points that showing the introduction of our group. So we add the subject code, the title, the project title, section number, group number, the leader name, and also the member's name here. And then we change the font type, the styles, and also the background color. Then we create a new story points that showing the factors that influence the happiness score among the country. Next, we add a new story point that using the analysis 9 that showing the government trust versus the average happiness score by continents analysis. And another new story point showing the global happiness trend that increasing and decreasing happiness among the years.
So in this overall project story, I also involved the happiness score dashboard, analysis 2 and analysis 4, and concluding with our project summary. So in summary, this project used Tableau to analyze and visualize world happiness data for year 2015 to 2020 across 150 and above countries. So there are 12 interactive analyses, 2 dashboard, and 1 story, which is this story. So we identified that GDP, health, and social support are the strongest happiness driver, with clear geographic pattern showing that some country like Finland leading and some country like Africa is lagging. So our visualization demonstrates that happiness is measurable and policy driven. Thank you. That's all from us.